Clash by Night is different from all other Fritz Lang movies. Nobody dies. In all his films, leaving out the dreamy technicality of The Woman in the Window, death is either a starting point, a turning point, or the finale. Clifford Odets's original play has that death. Jerry kills Earl in their fight over May. Lang wanted it that way, but as I said at the top, these were odd times in Hollywood. Congressional scrutiny was stuffing the noir genie back in the lamp. Producers like Jerry Wald knew that if you wanted to make a film that was fueled by sex, you had to tidy up at the end, straighten the cross on the wall, and reaffirm the marital vows. So, Earl and Jerry both get a reprieve in the movie version, and they all go on to live miserably ever after. To promote Clash by Night, whiz kids Jerry Wald and Norman Krasna did a very underhanded thing. They had borrowed Marilyn Monroe from 20th Century Fox, knowing that the actress had posed for nude photos in 1949. Fox diligently kept this under wraps, but RKO felt no such compunction. They exploited it, sub rosa, in the film's PR, which was crushing to the already insecure and somewhat unstable actress. Coming to her defense was co-star Barbara Stanwyck, who advised Marilyn to defiantly own it. Just admit she posed to pay the bills during hard times, precisely what Stanwyck had done when, as a Ziegfeld girl in the 20s, she posed nude for portraits by Alfred Cheney Johnston. In 1953, only months after the release of Clash by Night, Monroe was Hollywood's hottest new star, and her nude calendar shot was featured in the first issue of Playboy, for which Hugh Hefner paid the princely sum of nothing. Stanwyck also protected Monroe from Fritz Lang's constant belittling in her own sly way. Monroe was already demonstrating the bothersome behavior that would become her trademark, showing up late to the set, being unable to function without her personal coach, Natasha Lattès, always at hand. Lang was so hard on her, Marilyn vomited from anxiety before every scene. When it finally came time for her to perform with Stanwyck, the most revered pro in Hollywood, Monroe was so nervous she blew 26 consecutive takes. Stanwyck never said a word, which put Fritz in his place. If Queen Babs didn't lose her cool, neither could anybody else. Stanwyck was just as frosty when reporters flocked to interview Marilyn, not the old pro who was headlining the movie. When asked her opinion of her young co-star, Stanwyck drolly told reporters, "When you've got a figure like that, you don't have to act." Stanwyck would later admit that working with Monroe could be exasperating, but there was no denying she had, quote, a sort of magic that was obvious to everyone. Next week, I'll be back at Bar 355 with a film making its Noir Alley debut, the 1953 RKO B-feature Count the Hours, directed by Don Siegel and photographed by John Alton. Until then, see you in the shadows.